A warm welcome back to Attingham Park for episode 5 with me, MrSealyp. It's 6:23 in the evening and this was what I was talking about doing. I thought I would show you it rather than just all of a sudden in the morning it's all compacted and all done. I have been on a sort of search for better compacting methods rather than just using a tractor or using my telehandler method where I just put it on full lock and the telehandler just goes round and round and round and round. Now, Cardboard Only, who is a person I've been conversing with for a very, very, very long time well, since my channel's been going really, had said to me to try out this. This is the Weber MT-DSC 180 by Agrartechnik Nordeifel, and he said that it's one of the best, most efficient compactors he's used. So I thought, well, give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? You know, I think it cost me $600 to rent, so I rented 2. Now I don't know if running 2 is going to double the compacting speed or not. It's got to be worth a try, isn't it? So I thought, I've got to compact the silo. Might as well give it a go. We'll see where we go from there. I'm going to get some spill out the front, and when I do get the spill out the front, I will use the telehandler just to mop that up. And we'll keep everything in there. We'll get that compacted. What I'm also going to do once that is done, I'm going to go around my yard and a couple of bits around a couple of fields and mop up a few more trees. The price at Mr. Split's firewood is going back up again for wood chip. And what I also want to do is try and store some in our multi-fruit silo. I think it takes wood chip, so I'm going to try and store some. We're going to need some more money because in the morning we're going to start looking at our campground, the angling club, and kind of go from there. Now the front one, there were 2 options. You could have gone for hydraulic and PTO. I went for both PTO, and as soon as I hooked up, realised the front doesn't have a PTO. So I should have gone for a hydraulic one on the front, but it'll work. So let's, we'll kind of just go with it. I just need to get up onto the pile first. Once I'm up on here, please get up on here. There we go. And put them both down. I don't know how well this is going to go. That one down as well. Assuming I can even move, which at the moment it's not good. Now, levelling it's not so great, but I'm assuming it's compacting. Like I say, unfortunately I've been burnt a few times recently. I'm not saying at all that Cardboard Only has burnt me or stitched me up or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure on Italia demo I got stitched up. How are we looking? 9%. Can't remember what we're in before. Not really moving very much, that's the problem. I need to get some of these peaks flattened a bit. If I can get a flatter surface. Although I don't know though, I'm not moving very much, and it does seem to be, once I can get a bit more movement, what I'm going to do, turn it off, raise it, turn it off, raise it. I'm going to try and get some of these peaks flattened down a little bit, and then we'll try and get across it a little bit better with them both running, because I think it will work quite efficiently, but at the moment with them both down I can't really move very much, and the peaks, and let's get the lights on, there we go. That's the point actually. If we got, I assume the lighting is automatic here. Let's just have a quick look, because if we've got a light switch down in the, I can't remember if there's one here or not. Does that do all the lights here? It does a lot of them. I think these ones, those floodlights come on later I think. But anyway, yeah. I'll do that. I'll see you in a minute. Let's see if we can get this. Because at the moment it's not ideal. So now I can actually move forwards and back. It's difficult to turn, not so great for turning, but I have to say, consider as well I'm only moving on a fairly short sort of linear track. It was a much bigger silo, but it is going up pretty quick, I have to say. I honestly don't think I've come across many that have been that quick. That is really shooting up. And I'm barely moving backwards and forwards. Wow. Just needed to get it smooth, that's all. So whilst not levelers, as far as compactors go, blimey. Good shout, cardboard only. Good shout indeed. The name is in the description, obviously not a link, but it is the Weber MT DSC 180 by Agrartechnik Nordeifel. I don't know if running one on its own would be just as quick, whether it's this quick as I'm running two, but in all honesty, I think if I was only running one, I might be able to turn a little bit easier. Now what I'm going to do, let's turn off the front one and lift it. How are we for turning? Right, much better. Definitely faster with both. And we're still fast. So back on, try to go down. Yes, so for just a car, so I'm going forwards and backwards, and that's under a much longer silo where you can get a longer sort of run forwards and backwards. You'll compact a silo in absolutely no time. Awesome. Well, there we go. It's another thing ticked off my list of things I wanted to do, things I wanted to try. Not disappointed. Another one of those ones, I think when it first came out, I kind of overlooked it because it's quite small. That's it, we're done, 100%. Boom. Now I think what I'll do is we'll blanket the silo. That way, when I drive off, I'm not going to squash anything out the ends, sides, and it's now compacting. Brilliant, they can go back. I've got wood chipping to do. I'll see you, there'll probably be a screenshot from midnight, because obviously we've got our silage that we sold today from yesterday. So we'll get paid for that. It's not going to be a huge amount of money, I reckon 80 or 90 grand maybe. What do we have, 288,000 litres? Yeah, maybe something like that. But we'll see, and then I'll see you in the morning and we will crack on. Awesome. Okay then, just over 100,000 from the biogas plant for yesterday's. I miscalculated that by a long way. I had in my head about 300 for 1,000 litres, so whatever's in there I divide by 3, roughly. And then I went under a little bit, but it's actually 360, and yeah, 108 grand. That's not to be sniffed at. I did some more wood chipping, and as far as the wood chipping goes, we have got in storage now 324,359 litres. I did 3 full loads, 3 and a bit actually, of just kind of odds and ends around. There were a lot of those big trees that are like 42,000 litres per tree. I also did a load at one of the wood chip sell points, and rather than having it leased, I've bought one of these. The great Devourer, bought one, so I haven't got to worry about leasing fees on that now, so I can use that whenever I want. It's time for a campground. So yeah, I suppose yes, the answer to the question earlier was yes, you can store wood chips in here. It is a multi-root silo, and bringing the trailer around, the turning circle here was absolutely spot on, so I'm really happy with how that's turned out. Plus, in clearing the ground out over here, I took out more trees than I had originally intended. But in doing so, I kind of, because it's fairly flat here, I had an idea for something I could put on here. Now I know there is one, again I'm being cryptic and I apologise, but there is one on the map already, but I thought in trying to keep my farm fairly kind of condensed. Again, that'll be coming soon to a cinema near you. But we've got a campground to sort out. I've got some more trees to clear at the campground. Probably going to do a bit of levelling. And then, what was that thing I was going to say? A bit of levelling. Actually, I might need to lower that to go into the... Don't want to damage it. There we go. And I'm going to also, I need to buy a planter, seeder. Now, obviously, there's this situation with, you know, I'm on one of those maps again where there's an easy way of making money. And at the moment, it's wood chips. Money's gone back up again, 1,145 at MrSealyp, which is great. And using this Devourer makes life very easy. But as I mentioned before, we've got nothing. I've just bought the farm. This is my equipment. The other stuff was leased. Because my next step was, right, I need to buy a big field. If I'm going to get cows, I've got silage, I'm going to need hay. I've got grass fields. We can make hay. You know, I can mow it. We've got the stuff to do that. We've got the mower and windrower, but I'm going to need a tedder. And I can still collect it all. I can put it in loose. We can bale it. We can do all sorts of things. That's not a problem. Straw I don't have. Now, I could just make TMR with silage and hay. I don't have to do it with straw. Again, that's just one of those habits I kind of got into, and that's how I do it. Spectacle, I made the TMR sandwiches, but I think on here I'm going to do it loose into the silo, and then we'll get a mixer wagon, I think. And again, I want to reiterate, I messed up on here. I have limed this as well now. I did mess up by putting down this manure. So I did slurry on this one, slurry, wasn't it? First. Now, like I mentioned, with precision farming, the putting down slurry or manure first only gives you 20, is it 20 or 40 kilograms of nitrogen. 20 or 40. I'm sure might be 40. And the same with the cover crop. I think that's only 40 as well. And the only thing that kind of, I suppose, with precision farming for me at the moment is, if you do want to go organic, I suppose you could build those layers up a little bit. If you did a cover crop, cultivated that in, then slurried or manured, or slurried or manured, then did a cover crop, you could build up those layers, I suppose, but without over applying manure or slurry. There's no way to get that final perfect amount for a crop. Now, as I've already said, grass is a different animal, because grass is already down, grass is already growing, grass is there, you mow it. When you come back to then fertilise it again, if you are only using slurry or manure, you have to over apply to get it to say perfect. There's no other way of doing it, because in automatic settings it will only put down 20 or 40 kilograms, whichever it is. And like I say, I did this wrong. I shouldn't have put it down first. I should have put the crop in. This is going to be onions. So before the end of the episode, what I'm hoping to do, slow escape, get myself a seeder. I could do a seeder or a planter. I think I'm going to go seeder and planter on this one, because as I said, I can sort money out, no problem. But going back to what I was talking about with straw, I thought, oh, that's fantastic. I'll buy a field that's already got a crop in it. We'll get on there and harvest. I don't own a harvester either. You know, to get a fair size harvester, I'm looking, well, 200,000 up. I mean, I can get a small one, but it's going to take me a while. If I want to get a large one, 400 grand. So I need money. You know, I'll make it any way I can, in all honesty. I'm still going to get the jobs done, and I want to get into the farming as soon as possible. Obviously, we're biogassing at the moment. Now, I've also got, and what I need to do is the silage we put into the silage clamp of the biogas plant yesterday is now fermented. That's ready to go. I need to start putting that into the fermenter, into the digesting system. So at midnight we get paid out again, we get paid some more money, plus we get in the digestate as the byproduct. But I'm just trying to work out when I'm going to be able to do that without using conveyor belts, which I suppose I could do. I don't know. So yeah, there's a few things that need to be done, and as I said before the end of the episode, I'm hoping to get a seeder, and we'll get the onions in the ground. We're going to get some farming. There's a little bit of concern. Am I ever going to do any farming? It's all been grass work so far, but it's interesting again, that kind of thing I've mentioned before about playing the game, that there's so many different ways you can play a game, and when you're doing let's plays and stories and whatever, I try and do a real mix of all the different things that are available. You think about the real world, and I follow the Grassmen on YouTube. That, you know, if that's your thing, that's what your company, your business model is, that you make grass, you make hay, you make, you know, you don't actually do any arable farming, you don't actually do any livestock farming. I mean, I know they do various different things, but you know, there are guys out there that just do that. That's their business. That's what they make, and that's what they do. So, you know, I mean, like I say, I could, if I wanted to, I could do an entire Let's Play or an entire story or a map for myself based solely on just doing grass work. But it's not as exciting to watch, is it? I'll be totally honest. Now, this is the angling club, which we bought. What I want to do, we've got some tents and stuff here already, which are on site, but the site does go a bit further. I want to put on some hard standings for some sort of either fixed trailers or where people can bring their own trailers, although it's quite steep down this bit. Maybe run them sideways. We've got a bent, oh no. And it does go quite a long way this way. And also some more spots for tents. Now I don't want to spoil the natural beauty. I'm going to take out a few trees here and there. A bit of forest management. A few trees that have some illness. A few that are dead standing, that kind of thing. We'll get them out, clear a little bit. Because I want a bit of sea in here as well. And let's see if we can't get ourselves... I did think about maybe putting a little kind of kiosk in. And I did this on 6 Ashes. I was on about doing that. So that, you know, maybe a little toilet block. I don't know. It's just a few ideas of what we could do. Thank you to the people that commented about the Devourer, the wood chipper. This is going to be a 42, isn't it? Yeah, 43,178. Because I've still been going to the side of it. And a few people comment to say, just lift it up, edge forwards, and the stump will go. And it does. Either way works. It depends how you want to go about it. Or I know some people have got it down actually like perfect timing. As the tree falls, edge forward, it will devour the tree and do the stump at the same time. But you know, I have been going to the side, and I think I've been annoying some people by doing that. So apologies if you're one of those people that have been annoyed. It wasn't my intention to annoy anybody. I just do it. I can't help myself. I just obviously I'm one of those people. There we go. Like I say, I'm going to take out a few here and there. Maybe along the banks. I'll leave a few by the road, so we've got a bit of a barrier. Think how far forward we can go. We've got quite a bit more we can clear. We'll do a couple more the other way. There's more tents that way already anyway. Oh, that's interesting. Where's that? I've left that. To drop down. So yeah, you've seen me doing a lot of wood chipping. You know, I know it's probably quite frustrating. So I'm not going to show any more of me doing that, just that, you know, I'm clearing a few trees, and then we'll move on to, we'll have to go to the side of that one. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't, I don't know. Haven't got my technique quite there yet, probably. We've got quite a big area here. Maybe we could have some static stuff this end. Well, that's a 43,000 litre one. I'm not going to touch that yet because that will take me over the capacity. It's a bit thick. There's not a lot of light here, so that's another reason, I think. Plus, what I'm getting from, oh there you go, 102,000 is I'll go and sell this load. That's going to enable us to pay for the landscaping and some trailers, which I'm going to purchase. Or maybe 3 or 4, I'm just thinking maybe. It's an idea. Right then, we've done all right. As you can see, I have already bought 4 trailers, triple axle toy hauler by Lance, different colours. I'm going to come and grab one now. I need to get a kind of idea for the size of them when we get on site. I don't think, and I'm going to put these down the southern end, we're going to need to do much in the way of levelling. I think these will be right, and I'm a bit worried whether or not they've got 3 axles, maybe they might not pull down the hitch. Seems right. So what we'll do is take each one to site. These will be static that people can hire, lease, rent when they come to Attingham if they want to. Then we'll have a couple of plots where we've got tents on site, and then we'll have some plots where people can bring their own. So whether you've got one of the TLX campits, or you've got one of these, or you've got your own tent, you can turn up and facilities will be provided. So I suppose we need a little building, like a shower block, maybe. I don't know. That's something we can develop as we move forward, I suppose. We could. I know there's some ones, some barbecues. We could put some barbecues out, couldn't we, as well? Picnic benches, maybe. We'll have a look. We'll see what we can find, because that'll be. We can expand it further. But I just wanted to get the kind of main basis done. I haven't taken out. I've tried to take out as few trees as possible. I mean, I needed to clear the area a little bit. I need to get a little bit of light through. That will promote new growth. I mean, forestry management is all about that. Removing dead standing, removing trees in places where there are so many, the tree canopy actually just blocks out all the light to the ground. And it's one of those kind of difficult situations where people get quite frustrated about logging and say logging's different, that's a whole different ballgame, but forestry management, because it does, weirdly, it promotes far more growth and biodiversity than just having the trees there. And more trees will grow. They're a very hardy species. It's, you know, all the various different species are. So, anyway, I'm not, you know, I'm by no means on a rant or anything about. Can we? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just, yeah, you know, don't mind me. You go for it. Well, that's some damage to repair already. So, like I say, this end's going to be more the camping area, I think, and maybe a little bit down here. What I'm going to do is save the game. This is always a little bit of trepidation, because I'm going to do some landscaping. Always save. Always save the game before I landscape. And I'm thinking if we put the 4 of these this end, they look massive in the car park, but not as big here, which is quite cool. We'll get out with a shovel and some forks and pickaxes and stuff. We'll get these bushes removed, get a track put in. Where should we stick the first one? We kind of want the awning. That's where the big window is, that side though, isn't it? You kind of want that out towards the water, if that's your thing, of course. It might not be. So this would be my ideal trip. It would be absolutely incredible. So what I want to do is unfold the trailer, which does that side, steps and door, then open, which does that and that. Now, because it's a toy hauler, you can obviously, that whole back section comes down. I haven't used one of these before, and you can drive vehicles in and do them. But I'm just thinking, with that nice big window, I probably need to move these. Yeah, so these bushes need to be cleared, so you can sort of see down to the river. Yeah, this would be my ideal holiday. In something like this, on a campground, next to a farmer's field, where potentially there's farming going on. Oh, it'd be bliss. So I've got another 3 to collect. So what I'm going to do at this point is save the game. Now, I don't always show me doing landscaping. For this very reason, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. Things can go wrong, and I'll just need to realise I want to do. Have that open, and then we'll do it. So, let's zoom in a little bit. Grass texture is what I'm going to want first. So I'm going to get onto a grass texture, which is that one. And let's, like I say, let's dig some of these bushes out the way. Clear line of sight down to the river, hopefully. There we go. Like so we can add picnic benches, we can barbecues, that kind of stuff. Get that out there. There we go. Lovely. So I'll work my way through. We'll get a few more of these out because I'm not sure where I'm going to place the other ones yet. And what I might do is put a wood chip kind of base around each of the campers. That's probably what I'm going to do. I was even considering, but I don't think there is one on here. If you have like a bush texture of running a row of bushes along the side of here, but I don't think there is one. Yeah, we've got the wood chip one. So if we zoom in on the actual hauler a little bit, because obviously we've kind of made the site for it. No, again, landscaping is one of those. It's a preference. It's how you want it to look when you do it. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It can be any way you want. It can be very aesthetic. Some of these areas where we've cleared trees that had wood chip round them, I'm going to put some more grass in, which will grow. We'll leave some of the flowers and stuff. I don't want to take all those out. Gradually kind of work my way across. I'm going to take all the bushes out. I don't want to take them all out. That's right by the trees. That should be all right. That one maybe. Let's put a bit of grass back in there. We can always wood chip again when we come back if we want to. And I can, yeah. Like I say, the problem with the bushes on this one is if I do take too many out, I can't really replace them. But that's not, it's not a major hassle, is it? It's just, it is what it is. Let's do some of those. And then when I've got the rest of the hauler, the trailers in, we'll look at, I think I'm going to put the track this side of this tree. And we'll look at putting a track in. So the track will go through as well. Now here is where I was thinking about for tents. Maybe having one here by the water. Now do I want to level this? So flatten. There we go. Now flattening is always a bit dicey. You have to be careful. Because then what I would always do is smooth off afterwards the edges. So I would then go in and with triangle just smooth off those corners. So whilst you have got a flat spot for putting something on, it's kind of nicely blended, I guess. It's, again, I'm no expert. I just kind of, it's just a few bits I've done whilst I've been playing the game, and you kind of get into a habit of doing it a certain way. I'll leave the track there. So what I was thinking is for this one, we want, it's under placeables, isn't it? Decoration. There we go. One of those. Now, so I'm going to sit on there. That's interesting. Why won't that? That needs to be a lot flatter. That's odd. I felt sure that was going to be perfect. Yeah. What about if I try and place one further up here where it's kind of flatter and more open? Okay. One in there. One more towards the back. Track can't be deformed. And this is what you'll often find. There we go. It's got a few more tents chucked in there. So 3 tents in there. That flat spot, I'm going to have to work on that, I think. So I'll get the other haulers in. We'll get a track made. I think I'll put 2 more here, and I might put one a little bit further over here. I'm also thinking then, as far as facilities go, maybe one of those. Soya milk, eggs and potatoes. Selling lodge rather than the big one there. That does straw, wool and potatoes, but that one does milk as well. Maybe we should stick one of these in, shall we? Cow one might be a bit much. Green one, let's go for the standard, I think. We need to find a point where, oh, that's all right, look. Where's that going to fit? I need to give myself space to get the hauler in. the toy thing. That will level the ground a little bit. We can work around that. That's cool. Okay. So I'll have to come back out. Right, that's where we need to think about, don't we? Let's go back to that. How much further out do I want to come, though? I mean, the thing still might not work, but... And smooth that edge off. I'm not sure where the track's going to go around that. Let's try that again then. So I know this is probably, you might be watching this thinking, blimey, what have we stooped to? But I just thought, I know people were interested in how I go about doing it or not, and, There we go. Sorbetsu, I'll bring that forward a little bit. Let's go up a bit. It's interesting. I wonder what's causing that. It worked at one plane, but not another. How did I get that to work a minute ago? It keeps flashing green and then decides, nah, I'm not going to bother now. Well, I'll have a fiddle about with that. The other thing I want to do then is track. So let's zoom that right in, and we want to go with what ground type? We could do wood chip. I think we might go, I think this is the one that kind of follows on from here. The track's going to go around there. We've got that as tight as we can. Is that the right one? It's always good to check first. It's kind of a bit of a ground. Take that through. But again, I think what we might do, because people often ask how do I leave it with so you get the tufts in the middle. It's just a case of doing the track as best you can. Sometimes I go back in afterwards and do it. Now, it's really, that should have bent around there, shouldn't it? I can always come back over, can't I? That's quite bumpy there now. Let's smooth that out. Yeah, I left that a little bit too rough and ready, I think. Put the track out around the back there. Smooth that a little bit too. That's what I'm going to do. Came too far over. Let's change that. Go back to grass. Put the grass back in that side. Then do this maybe coming... there and there. That's a little bit better. Round that where the tent would be. Now, suppose I go around behind this tree, didn't I? Let's go around there. And head off. And then we can, adjust where everything's going to be off of this. I'll just do a rough one kind of right the way through. Let's bring that right the way through to there. Then I'll do the other track. And then we can part the campers off of that, and then we can work out little tracks with wood chips and all the stuff we need to off of that, and then we can add all the bells and whistles and all the extra bits in afterwards. This is going to bug me. I've got to get this to work. I'm not sure that I can though, but I will certainly try. Let's do that. I probably just picked a really bad spot for it. That's probably all it is. Just realised how long I've been waffling for. Sorry. Right, let's put a bit of grass back across to there. We can add whatever we need to later on. Right. I will leave you at this point. I'll see you in a minute. And hopefully we get it all done. We'll get the rest of the trailers in. I'm glad we got that place. That's made me very happy. That could probably do with actually do that. Ah, there we go. Just smooth that out a little bit around it, if it will let me. A little bit. Sometimes infuriatingly when you're doing the landscaping, you'll get a corner like this bit here that just doesn't seem to want to work. And you can bring it all the way up from out here. You can change the intensity. That's always a bit dangerous. Where it says down the bottom brush strength and brush size. I'm increasing brush size, but brush strength you turn up and down. That's dangerous because if you make a mistake with your smoothing or lowering or raising on maximum strength, it's huge changes. And that can be catastrophic. I'll put the grass back in then because that's not quite what I was hoping for, but okay. But the grass can hide a multitude of sins, which is always very helpful. The last 50,000 litres of wood chips I've got from the campsite have just been sold. So money's right up. I was bringing the stuff all the way back over. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to get my first load underway into the digesting system at the biogas plant. And while I'm doing that, because the money's up, I'm in the process of moving the rest of the trailers over. So you'll see that in a minute. I think I'm going to try if I can to get the picnic tables and stuff in too. I think it'll it'll make it more complete. More complete upon opening. There's nothing worse than turning up somewhere and you haven't got all the gear. I don't know if I mentioned it. I said a little while ago I was talking about Muncaster Castle and the Penningtons and whatever. I was looking on there and they do glamping, like glamping pods, like a fully furnished tent. And outside they've got picnic tables, they've got barbecue stuff, they've got like fire pit. It looks incredible, and in the grounds there as well. Wow. Now, MrSealyp is not a camping fan. I might have mentioned that before in previous Let's Plays as well. She refers to sleeping bags as soft coffins. She hates sleeping bags with a passion. Soft coffin, apparently. So, why is that not working? Because it's found itself something else. That's helpful. Yeah, let's put some in there, right. Go away. I'm going to move that right out of the way now. Just wondering if I need, for a little bit of tidying up, for the time being, I might get rid of this now because it was leased and we'll get our own telehandler or whatever equivalent. I'm trying to think what ones are available that I haven't used. So potentially I might do that. Again, it's on the list. I've got a massive list of gear. Now, that was what I was started off by saying. Yeah, sorry, yeah, soft coffin. But when I mentioned it to her, she said, that looks fantastic, we should do that. Cool. Like the idea of that. I think that might be all we're going to get out of that. That could be all she wrote. So while we're here, what I was going to say was we want that one and this one. So field 40's got oats in it. If I harvest the oats, I can get straw swaths. So I think that's going to be purchase number 1. Field 41 is grass, but I have a plan. I'm going to plough some of that out, make that into a field as well. I'm going to stick onions, as I said, in field 36, which is fairly small. I'm going to put carrots, because I haven't done either of those crops before, and I want to give them a go. I want to use some equipment. I want to do onions and carrots, but I do need straw because I want to get the cows underway. So, and then I'm also going to need to do hay. So the next time I cut field 35 and field 34, I'm turning that into hay. That will go into storage. Straw for field 40, and then I've got everything I need for top mix ration. Now, as for everything in here, which is, how much have I got in there? 696,000, taking some out already. Oh yeah, did I say how much I ended up with in here? When I compacted it and blanketed it, I said about 800,000. I was just shy of 800, which not too big of a problem really. I'm going to keep hold of some of it, obviously, because I'm going to need it for top mix ration. So maybe 100,000 litres, would that be enough, do you reckon? 100,000. Now the other thing I need to do, soil sampling. I'll have to do a load more soil sampling on both those fields now, aren't I? So I've just given myself a ton more work to do. And as you can see, that 800,000 goes down pretty quick. But I do have my storage of wood chips, which is another reason why I did a whole load. I've got over 300,000 litres of wood chips, so with the price high, I can sell some more. Because when our field is ready to harvest, I don't have a harvester, so that's obviously going to be another purchase I need to look at. But also what I need to do now, while we're here, is cedar. I'm going to go with, not cedar, yeah, cedar, because I want to do onions, don't I? I was going to go with the Pronto 9. I haven't done Pronto for ages. And I thought, do I want to go 9 or do I want to go a little bit bigger? Not hugely, but I think I'm going to go with the DG2 12,000 from the Vernon and Vicon pack. Now I'm second guessing myself because there are quite a lot of options in. You know what? Bear with me on that. Hold fire on that one. I might not. Right, but I've got now the rest of the landscaping to do. I can stick another 50,000 litres in here because this will hold 100,000 litres to start processing. At least we're getting some of it done. And then I'll sort out the cedar because I do want to, before the end of the episode, get those onions in the ground. But we do have another field. So it also now means, moving forward, I've got ploughing to do. I've got soil sampling to do. I've got also another plan for up at the farm. We've also got the stuff up at field 5 that I need to look at doing. But phase 1, as far as the campground goes, we're looking pretty good at the moment. Nearly there. Hopefully, we're good to go. We've got a few little picnic tables dotted around for people to use, should they wish to do so. We've got our fire section. We've got one here and one a bit further along. We have got our bin area nicely fenced in, so you can't see it from the road or wherever else you are camping. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, the bushes are in the way there, so you haven't got to look at rubbish bins and rubbish bags as we move through. The track has been done. The tent did go down in the end, which worked really nicely. These are the ones that have got the light, and at night the campfire will come on. And we've got more bins, I'm sure, but oh, okay, that's not so good. I don't know if I can pick that up. Oh, someone's already knocked a bin over. Yobs! Hooligans! We have got another one here. Very important, the place is kept tidy. Another tent to the side here. And then we've got another fire point. Each of our campers is in place with benches. Hey, got to have a grill. I mean, it's not a charcoal one, but it'll do. Nice views of the River Severn and the countryside, depending on which way you want to look. I think each one, I think I pretty much did, yeah. I did benches, seating and barbecue for each. I did put in a few little hedge bits here and there. Didn't go in as well as I hoped, but blocked out some of the bits here and there. Slightly different benches and barbecues here, and another one right on the other side there. It's actually worked out a lot better than I had an idea in my head of how I wanted it to go, and you're never quite sure. You know, that's why I said, well, you save it, have a look. You know, the layout, you know, I could probably put another camper. We could get another one in there, maybe maybe some more tents. Like I say, there's space for people to come and camp. There's space for the old TLX camp pits. If you turn up with a little camper van, you can pull up and away you go. But yeah, how for the camp? Camp ready. So that's that done. Now it's time for a seeder. I need to get these onions in the ground. Now I've had a look at loads of different options, and I've been umming and ahhing, and you know, again, this is maybe something I may well change. I'm gonna get one of those, the CCS 1990 seed metering, the John Deere. It's a 13.4 meter, 5,500 litre. It will do onions as well as other crops I need to do. It's only 40 grand. But this does have a downside. It's quite wide, so getting along the roads could prove difficult. If it does, the next jump up, or the one I was going to go for, was it that one? No, it was this one, wasn't it? 138 grand. So 40 grand to 138 grand. Big jump up. I had a look at a few different ones. There's some planters I had a look at as well. One of them being the Case Early Riser, was it? Probably the 16 row, 12.2 metres, but that's 232 grand. It's a direct drill as well, though, and it does only do your planting crops. It's not one that does everything. So, again, potentially, you know, a bit of wood chipping. I could afford one of those, I guess. So that's how we're looking. Campsite is done. Oh, I didn't even buy it, did I? Do I lease it? First of all, just in case it is too big. How much is it to lease? 2,000. Is that wider than a lane? I mean, it is. I suppose it's really designed for like big American roads, South American, that kind of stuff, not necessarily where we are. We don't want an American flag or a Brazilian flag on it. Not that I don't like those particular flags, but we're in England. Yeah, it's not a very English, but I wanted to use it. Auxiliary light, yes. I'm going to lease it. And then if it turns out, actually, you know what, we haven't even got to go to the roadway, have we? Really, we could come out and we could go across through the ford. Just a thought, will that go through the gates as well? Well, it's all a learning curve. But this is all done. Let's go and grab that. Let's get some onions in the ground. Then I've got more biogas work to do. I've got ploughing to do on our new field. I need to do soil sampling. Yes, so there's loads to do. I'm going to go and grab the tractor because I'm going to need the tractor for the seeder. I have collected our seeder. I've just come across through the ford and I've had another zany idea. I'm wondering if I buy at some point field 13, the northern side of the river, whether I could build a bridge. So rather than keep going down through the ford, and that's not just for me, that would be for all the farmers in the area to use. I mean, you can use the ford, no problem at all, but I'm just thinking, I'll have to look into that. So we need to find out then. I'm going to go and see Mrs. Holland at the post office. She'll see us all right with some seed. Can I get through this gap here? And obviously there's the gateway into field 36. That could be the other problem. I don't know, you know. So put those on. I don't know if I'm putting those on. Turn off. So what's the thing I was... Oh yeah, so if I've got the mower with the windrows, I need either a tether that will hook onto the back of that, because it does have a rear trailer hitch. I wonder if a hay bob would fit on the back of it. Just trying to think, when that came out, did I test it with that on? Might have done that. Because that would be a nice way of making hay fairly quickly as well. It does also mean that we're going to start getting some stuff into the yard, which is quite nice. Because our farmyard does seem very empty at the moment. So here it is, Mrs. Holland's secret stash. Is that going to work? Please work. Does it have to be open? Oh, just open the cover. Ah, right. Let's put that back. Just cover open, I think. There we go. Close cover. We'll swap that from wheat to barley, oats, canola, soybean, oilseed radish, grass, onion. Beacons can go off. I'm going to need to get a planter, so when I'm ready to do carrots, I have on a few Let's Plays often opted for the planters that do everything. Saves you having a seeder and a planter, but this one I'm more than happy to have one of each. Oh, I also need to go and buy some. I feel I'll go and get some manure from the livestock market. We've got a water tap. I'll check. We must have a water source somewhere on the farm. If not, we'll put a standpipe in. We'll get the greenhouses underway as well. Now the moment of truth. Please fit through the gateway. Ah, oh dear. British farmer goes mad buying American machinery. Oh no, it'll go, it'll go. Oh yes, little beauty. Right, so can I close the gates from there? Am I going to hit the back of this? Whoa, where did I get on the back of there? Right, let's turn that on. Drop it down. Let's get a better angle so we can go along the edge of the field. Get that in just a minute. Oh, we're doing onions. I've never done onions before. Doing the tip of this field might be a little bit tricky. Raise or not? It did. I don't think this is a fast farming one. Also, don't know really, having never done onions before. I think the yield's supposed to be like potatoes and sugar beet. Is it? It's quite high. Let's drop that down. Let's do a double tap. Or this fast farm. It will. Ooh, okay then. Didn't know that. Right, let's drop that down then. Let's do it normally. Calm. Oh, there we go. Bit of a delay. Okay. It's interesting because that's a, what does it say, 13.4? It doesn't seem like 13.4. I wonder if I can do the old, let's open that up. Not that. That. So we are at, which one's moving? If we go that way. Okay. So, we're at, let's say, 1275. Is that about right? 1275. Let's walk forward. $12.65 is 10 metres. I would say that's a 12. I mean, maybe I'm dreaming it. So let's get this done. And like I say, because of the way I did it, because I made a mistake and I slurred it first, rather than putting the crop in the ground. I could have just made a real horrible mess here. If I do that and that, and then turn that on, and that is the one I want. Then we go to, we don't know what yield's going to be, do we? I say pH is saying it's fine because I limed it. Nitrogen is saying it's all perfect, but is it perfect for onion? I really don't know. We're not going to know until we harvest this what the yield comes out like. But unfortunately, yeah. Farming. We're farming. I'm looking forward to harvesting these. Same as when we do carrots. That's going to be brilliant. I'm very excited. Now I know for a lot of you, there have been a lot of maps out, a lot by CAS64, who else? There's been loads of different map makers have done multi-crops, including carrots and onions and all sorts of things, rice and, you know, just a lot of the maps I've been on at the time doing my Let's Plays haven't had them, and the ones I've chosen haven't had them, so this is, for me, something a bit new. Can I fit between that fence just there, please? Let me just get that. Oh, any bigger than that? Not a chance, but that worked out very nicely. So all we've got to do now as well is see how many people come to the campsite. We should make a little bit of revenue. And as I've been saying all the way through, all the different episodes, we've got so much to do. We are just scratching the surface of the farming here. We've got so much more equipment to buy. I want to do carrots. I want to do other crops as well. We've got the greenhouses to sort out. We've got, you know, potentially other animal types. Chickens is the next thing. I guess I should get eggs on the go. Get that done straight away. We've got a field that we've just bought that's got oats in it, so we can harvest that. You know, we haven't got horses, so the oats we can just sell. And it's weird as well because from obviously looking at the map, this is a very small field. But thinking about yields for potatoes and sugar beet, if onion is anything like that, we're going to get quite a lot off of here, I would think. And when I plough out on field, was it 41? No, 40. I might just plough a section for carrot. Yeah. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.